My name is Jessica, and I have a bachelor's degree in equine studies.
And my name is Brittany, and I have a bachelor's degree in film and television. And we're going to make a bad horse movie.
Woo! Welcome to Colt Classics.
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. If this is your first time in, maybe start with a different episode.
Yes.
This is not going to be a normal run of an episode. We are doing a speed run episode today where we kind of skip all of our fun padding and we go right to making the movie.
We're ready to jump right in, folks.
Yeah, so we've already generated our movie title, so we are not making it during this show. However, it's a good movie title.
It is a good movie title.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yes, give us our movie title.
Our movie title is... I can't even say it straight. Disco Thoroughbreds Don't Cry.
Disco Thoroughbreds Don't Cry. It's a musical. It has to be
a musical. I was going to say, is this a movie musical?
It has to be. It reminds me, like the title reminds me of Cats Don't Dance, which I've never seen, but does have music in it. So it makes me think of like that. So
I'm trying to think of, there's something else of a, like something. There's another title that this is very, because the Don't Cry, the something Don't Cry makes me think of something, but I can't.
Well, there's a movie I think called Boys Don't Cry, but it's like an older movie that is like super sad and would not be something you have seen.
No, it's something it's two words. It's like it's an adjective and a noun. Don't cry.
But I don't think it's Disco Thoroughbreds.
No, it's not Disco Thoroughbreds.
Here's what I was thinking. I think Disco Thoroughbreds is like shorthand for dressage.
First of all, that's not shorter.
No. I mean, in the context of this title of like, when we're saying Disco Thoroughbreds, it really boils down to this is taking place in some kind of dressage environment. I don't know if dressage does disco, but I think that they should.
Well, okay.
Can you imagine if this was a jukebox musical and it was just like ABBA songs? So it's Mamma Mia, but with horses.
I mean, I feel like I got Mamma Mia vibes just from the title, to be honest.
It's got Mamma Mia vibes.
I mean, we could jukebox musical, but I don't know if we necessarily need to do only ABBA songs.
No, I feel like when you think of disco, like that's a good one that pops up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any disco songs because I am not a disco person. But I think it's funny to say Disco Thoroughbreds.
I don't know, part of me wants to keep thoroughbreds as like racing horses, but how do we add in the disco? Do you have to disco while you're running down the track?
Staying alive. I mean,
it's true though.
It's true.
I mean, you usually don't dance so that you can stay alive.
Right. I don't want us to make a remake of Moondance and George.
Right.
So I feel like we need to do something a little different.
Oh. What if... Well, okay, there's two different things we could do. We could go circus.
Sure.
Which we have done before, but we could do a different kind of circus.
Sure.
Or... we can do, wow, the name of it just went out of my head.
Circus Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. No circus.
What's it called? It's vaulting. Thank you, brain.
You're welcome. It is me, Jessica's brain. This is your conscious speaking. I sound a lot like you, so it works.
Be. Yeah, no, vaulting. Vaulting is gymnastics on horseback.
Which you
wouldn't do with thoroughbreds.
So I have a question. I know we're trying to speedrun this episode.
Yes.
But are thoroughbreds like only allowed to race? Are they like banned from other things?
No.
Like what is the deal with that?
No, so every breed of horse has kind of like a area that they're probably better at.
Okay.
So thoroughbreds were bred for race. Well, especially the ones we have now were bred for racing. So they tend to be a little bit, they're more muscular, but a little bit kind of like lighter frame so that they can move quickly. And so you don't want to use them for, like, you could use thoroughbreds for jumping, cross country, probably for dressage. What else? I think you can use them for Western stuff. They're just not as well formatted.
Have you formatted your horse correctly? Are you using MLA format?
So the fancy horse word is conformation.
Sure.
So the conformation of how their bones are put together. I feel like I've said this already.
I feel like you
podcast.
have said this before too.
Anyways, the point is, like, just their muscle structure, their bone structure, their height and leg length and all that kind of stuff is better suited to racing. With vaulting, because you're doing gymnastics on the back of a horse, you want a horse that has a broad back, so you have a lot of space to stand on and a lot more muscling so that they can handle you flipping and landing back on them again. So draft horses typically are used for vaulting because they don't necessarily have to go super fast.
Right. You don't have a lot of space in any kind of performance. Like, you have a limited area.
Yeah, they just go in a circle, and having the broad muscular back is conducive to being able to do those kind of things.
Sure.
So that's really
okay.
It. They're not banned.
It's like, are you just, like out of luck if you're like, I only have a thoroughbred, but I am a circus man. So
well, you could probably, so that's the thing is, so you could probably use thoroughbreds in the circus because like I'm thinking now of like trick riding kind of stuff. Typically you do trick riding stuff with a saddle on, which gives you more ability of what you can do on the horse because you've got a structured thing. With vaulting, there's like a pad blanket of sorts on their back, but there's no saddle.
Got it.
On them.
Okay.
So having the wide flat area for your feet to be is much better. And it's also like you don't want to hurt your horse.
Right.
So if your horse that you're using doesn't necessarily have strong back muscles or, you know, I don't know, their skeleton, their spine sticks up a little bit farther than the rest of their body or whatever. Like, you know, you don't want to injure these horses.
That's true. You need them for more than one trick.
Use. Yeah.
One trick pony
is a pony who can only do one thing.
Yes,
not one time.
One use.
These are only. Not disposable horses.
Disposable Kleenex horses. Okay, so I feel like you're getting stuck on disco thoroughbreds then. So let's go back. No, that's great. Let's go back to that. Like what? Let's dissect what that could mean. So then we could come back to then what we're doing. Because I think musical could be literally anything.
That's true.
So I'm not really worried about if it's a musical or not.
I kind of forgot about that already. Sorry.
That's okay.
Actually, one of the things the first thing that came to mind when we generated this title was that this is a world where there are no people, is just horses. They're not bipedal horses. They're regular horses, but they can talk. And so they go to disco parties. And I was literally just imagining like a sea of horses like dancing to disco music.
I feel like there's not a lot there. At that point,
there's really not.
It's just like a little aesthetic snapshot.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to do something kind of larger form. So what were the things that you said that you could do with thoroughbreds, like not vaulting? But so dressage could be a thing.
Yeah.
Or racing.
Jumping.
Okay.
Cross country, which is jumping but outdoors.
Sure.
Which, to be fair, jumping is also outdoors, but
it's more outdoors.
Cross country is like the jumps are made out of hay bales and tree logs and
back to our natural roots of when we used to just go out and hunt for quail. Foxes.
There's also steeplechasing, which I don't know if you would want to use thoroughbreds for or not. Steeplechasing is very intense. So it's more like a Great Britain kind of sport as far as I understand. And it's comes from back when they used to do fox hunting with horses.
Right.
And so these jumps are these big giant hedges that they're like pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very, very intense sport. And I think a lot of people get seriously injured from this. And I think it's one of those ones that you can like you're all going at the jumps all at the same time, so you can like run into other people. It's like thoroughbred racing, but with giant hedges to jump over.
Insane.
Yes, it's very insane. Would not recommend.
So let's not make a movie about that one.
Yeah, no.
So is the thoroughbred breed disco? Is that what it is? Or is it the thoroughbred is into disco? Or is it something with the rider? Like what would intrigue you more? What would make you more interested in this movie?
You know what I just thought?
Yes, please go on.
This is kind of a fantasy world where disco thoroughbreds is a breed because they're sparkly or have polka dots on them.
But they could be shiny like Pokemon.
Ooh.
I feel like that'd be fun. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I know that they're shiny ones.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch this one horse. We need to call up Pokemakers. Hey, can we make a shiny horse?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Can we? Okay.
No, I love it. So wait, can you imagine just a horse covered in little squares of mirror? And it's a shiny little horse. So, okay. Disco. It's a disco thoroughbred. So what is the point of a disco ball that's a horse?
What if it's the only one?
Yeah.
And he feels lonely.
Sure.
And he learns not to cry for being lonely.
He makes some friends.
Makes some friends who are also weird.
Yes. So weird horse central.
Yes.
Okay. So is this like Pokemon? Like I don't understand how we're getting these disco horses. I love them.
No, it kind of to me it turned into like this is a very generic storyline.
Yeah, I'm here for
This is normal Colt Classics content.
Yeah, right.
Horse is born that is disco ball.
Right.
Is the only one in the barn.
Yes.
All of his barn friends aren't even friends. They make fun of this disco horse. Not even him. Disco horse.
Yeah.
Make fun of disco horse because disco horse is different.
Right.
Gets sad, runs away.
Yes.
Encounters other horses who are also weird. Maybe they aren't disco horses. Maybe disco horse is the only disco horse, but you meet polka dot horse and striped horse and
a zebra.
Maybe.
I don't know. You're like, I'm not different. I'm just a transfer student.
And disco horse learns not to cry about being different because being different is cool.
I feel like it needs to be we need our disco ball just broke.
Yeah.
And then we need to save the day.
This is just Rudolph.
Yeah. That's what it is.
It is.
That's what it is.
It is.
It is Rudolph.
Sorry.
No, I think that
stealing your content, Rudolph.
It's old enough that we need to reinvent Rudolph.
Yeah. So and so this is all seasons.
Right.
This is not just wintertime.
Yes.
Movie. This is a movie you can watch at any time.
No, this is the movie for when there's no holidays. Like, you know how there's like this section from like October until like even March, April where there's like a bunch of holidays, right? So you can be like, oh, it's the holiday. I'm going to watch my favorite, Halloween movie or Thanksgiving movie. Like this is the one for like mid-August or July where you're like, I haven't had a holiday in forever.
Yes.
Time to watch Disco Horse.
Time to watch Disco Thoroughbreds Don't Cry.
Disco Thoroughbreds Don't Cry. Yeah, no, it does. I think what if we just totally reimagine the like structure of Rudolph, but it's a disco horse.
Yeah.
So that means that there's no other weird horses. If you think about it from Rudolph's perspective. Now, you could do like the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't there
but
one?
they weren't all reindeer. They were something else.
Okay, so there's not other weird horses, but there's other quote unquote outcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
That Disco Horse runs into.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I haven't watched Rudolph in a very long time, so I don't know if the other outcasts like convince Rudolph to accept his weirdness.
But we can make that for us.
I think we should.
Yeah. So this island of misfit creatures, essentially. They're not toys, they're creatures.
They're creatures. So it's a giraffe that's really short.
Oh.
It has a really short neck.
No.
It's a corgi giraffe.
I feel like what we need to do is combine like inanimate objects and animals.
Oh, okay.
Because I think like with the idea of disco ball horse, we need to like.
Sorry, my brain went to a giraffe that has chopsticks for legs. What? I'm sorry.
Okay, wait.
My brain is weird.
Wait, I've got it. What if it's a porcupine?
Okay.
With chopsticks. Spines.
Okay.
I feel like, well, I was going to say food, but it's not just food.
Yeah, well, because disco's not a food.
To you, maybe. I eat disco for breakfast.
Here's your quote of the day, guys. Disco is not a food.
Disco is a food if you believe hard enough.
If you believe hard enough. Okay.
Disco is a lifestyle.
So I really want a giraffe. I don't know why. I'm stuck on this giraffe.
I like giraffe.
What should the giraffe be?
What's an inanimate giraffe thing that we could pair it with? We just got boba. So boba giraffe?
What if it's a lamp?
Explain. America, explain.
You know that horse lamp that you sent me? The picture of that horse lamp?
I don't.
Oh. It's literally, they literally make this. I've seen it actually in a TV show. It was an international TV show, but still it was in a TV show.
Yeah.
It's a horse, and then there's a lampshade on the head, and there's a light bulb in it.
Okay.
So what if the giraffe was because it's got a tall neck and it's a...
You could put like each of its little horns as little light bulbs.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Does it have a lampshade or no, though?
I wouldn't want to hide it. I feel like if you were just make it very clear, it's got little light bulbs on its head.
Okay.
And it could also, like, its whole body could glow.
That's, yeah.
You know?
Then it's just a glow stick.
Or maybe it's spots glow. How about that?
Okay.
It's spots glow.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of the idea there. So do we want to just keep naming animals that have inanimate objects with them?
Have we basically established our plot then that we're just copying Rudolph?
I do want to make something different though,
right?
Because like obviously Santa isn't in charge of the disco floor. Like we need a groovy person to have a need. Like how does this groovy person who owns this disco club find this disco horse? Because I don't know how the whole Santa thing works out, but I assume there's proximity involved. Whereas like with this person is not breeding a disco horse, right? Like it's it's something that's like, okay, I'm finding a need that you're fulfilling. So
I was kind of like, I know Rudolph there is people because there's Santa and the elves.
Yeah.
But I was almost like with this one, I was kind of starting to think of this was just a world with there were no humans.
That's if we're gonna like
and all
anthropomorphize kind of like Zootopia, that's fine, but we need to like who's in charge of this disco club.
What is the most disco-y animal you can think of?
A gopher.
That's it. That's it now. I don't know why gophers are disco-y, but that we have a gopher who owns a disco club.
I don't know why. Listen, I am just yes-anding here. Don't at me.
The disco gopher is friends with the
gopher's name is Topher, by the way.
Okay, perfect. So Topher is friends with Alan. Mm-hmm. Who is the like main in charge horse from the place where Disco Horse was born.
Okay.
Is it a hospital?
Dr. Guy?
Dr. Allen.
Dr. Allen Guy. Actually, you could do it the French way. Guy.
Okay, Dr. Alan Guy. He's a Frisian.
He's a French horse.
Which I don't know if Frisians are French. I don't think they are. What is a French horse?
I don't know anything about horse breeds, so you could say literally anything and I would agree with you.
I don't know if there's a specifically French breed of horses. There might be. Horse people don't at me. Don't be mad at me.
French people don't at us either.
I know. We've already established the French.
It's okay. It can be a transplant. I mean, international, now French person. So, Dr. Alan Guy, the Frisian French doctor.
Doctor, yes. Is friends with Topher.
Yeah.
The gopher who runs the disco club.
Yep.
And
it's an underground disco club.
Okay.
Because he's a gopher. Sorry, I had to.
No, it's perfect. I love it. So they're friends and they're talking the one day and Topher's like, man, my disco ball just broke. And the one I ordered says it's not gonna be here for like 3 weeks because they're behind on production and there's no other disco balls in that I can order.
Mm-mm.
All the disco balls are out of production.
Yep.
Because we're low on mirrors.
Yeah.
And Dr. Guy says, well, a while ago there was this weird thing that happened at the hospital.
It was very weird. This is not the French accent. I don't know what this is, but this is what the accent is going to be.
I am not even going to attempt a French accent. That is one of the ones that I cannot do.
I can try, and I failed, but that's the point of this podcast, is to try things. And
I'm sorry, I'm bad at trying things.
Fail very badly at them.
Anyways, so then Topher goes and finds
this child. How does this gopher convince this horse infant?
Well, so if we wanted to make it a little less weird, it could be like it's been like a year.
Okay.
And so a year-old horse is still young, but it's like, feel like middle school age.
Okay.
Or we could wait 2 years and then it's more of like a teenager kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Because horses develop really quickly because it's a survival instinct.
Sure.
Kind of a deal. So it could be like a couple years. Could be like a Hakuna Matata situation.
Yeah. We could have a whole montage.
Yeah. Then we've got the music.
That's true.
It is a musical.
Come back around. So are we animating this like a old school Disney movie?
Yes, please. 2D animation, line drawn animation.
I think that would be hard to do a disco horse, though. So I almost feel like it would have to be in the style of like the Disney movies made in the 90s where they had like one CG thing in there.
Oh, yeah.
So the horse is CG, so it can sparkle.
Right. Or you can do, one of the things that I've seen them do is where they put like a pattern underneath the like line art, so it never like stays exactly where it was in the first place, but you get the like disco-y, but it's still kind of 2D.
Yeah.
So it's not like the I don't know, dragon in Anastasia, which is I guess technically Disney now, but not originally made by Disney.
No, it was 21st Century Fox, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
but like, or go Aladdin.
Sure.
The Cave of Wonders is like very obviously 3D.
Right.
But so instead of that, where it's like there's this one 3D CGI thing in this, and it's the main character. Instead, I think it just should be like the pattern overlay.
Sure.
Of like disco.
Sure.
So it's always constantly changing.
But if you make it shiny, it's like you're not going to notice it.
No. I love it.
Yeah. So we have a disco Hakuna Matata equivalent.
Yes.
Is it going to be like all disco themed music, or is it going to be like Disney style songs? We're not actually going to make this a Disney movie.
No.
We're going to like homage to it, but like this is going to be like an independent studio.
I think it should be disco music.
Okay. Disco music. Now, is it original or is it jukebox? Because we could Bee Gees, we could ABBA, we could, it would be expensive, but I think we could do it. I think we could Kickstarter this to get enough money for the disco songs.
I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like it would be fun to try to get someone to write new disco music.
I think that would be cool. So I know very little about musical styles.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard, I'm sure you have, The Weeknd's Blinding Lights?
Mm-hmm.
Is that disco?
No.
It's like old style.
Yeah, it's got the like synth pop of like early 90s pop, I feel like.
Okay.
There's a song that the Take On Me is what the beginning of it sounds like, which I would still categorize as pop because it's like and that's like still very like poppy,
right?
And like you could put it on like a classic pop, but I think of disco, and again, I probably am completely wrong because like this is probably later disco, but again, like staying alive, like that's very disco-y to me, or even ABBA stuff because like I think of ABBA because there's the bit in like the Mamma Mia movie where they're just doing disco moves over the credits and it's just an ABBA song at the end.
Yeah,
Waterloo, I think, is what it is. So that's why I think immediately because I'm like, y'all are having too much fun with this song. But yeah, that's what I think of when I think of disco. But I know we could go earlier. There's a lot of cultural like starting points of disco, but anything kind of in that area of it's like groovy,
right?
That would be disco.
I guess the only reason I brought that up is like you can. I think that sometimes there's this like you can't go back and do old styles or like nobody knows how to make a good disco anymore or whatever. I think we can. I think we can get somebody who will make new disco.
I think we have to find a musician whose like appreciation is strictly for disco, so they're already in that like mindset. Not trying to get someone who does like hyper pop to be like, okay, now take your whole style and throw it out the window.
Just check it out.
Just check it out. It's someone who has an appreciation for like an older style, and like you could, if you really want to get fancy, you get vintage instruments, and then there you go. Then you've got an old authentic disco, but.
All right, friends, if you know anybody who loves disco music and also writes music, hit us up.
We just want the Hakuna Matata one.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like that's what we can use for our pitch.
Right.
Like we'll hire the animators, we'll do that scene, and then be like, okay, now we're gonna Kickstarter this. Now we're gonna make Disco Thoroughbreds Don't Cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is the conclusion of this movie just a dance sequence?
Yes.
Like
yeah. I think so.
I feel like at some point in the middle, we do have to explore these animals that are like weird combos, which I think would be so fun. I feel like that's a good artist challenge of like take an inanimate object and an animal and combine them together. I think that'd be so fun to see.
Yeah.
So if there's any, a digital or traditional artist out there who want to draw like literally any combo of any of those, please add us.
Yes, send us those on Twitter.
Please do.
Would love that.
So did we do it?
I think so. I think that's a cult classic.
That is a cult classic. Disco Thoroughbreds Don't Cry. We are part of the Pocket Podcast Network, which has a lot of great shows. I'm not going to name all of them because they're all great, and we love them all dearly. So,
what's the website?
PocketPodcastNetwork.com.
Yep.
PocketPodcastNetwork.com.
You can see all of the shows. They're all there.
All the shows are there. You can buy merch on the website. All kinds of good stuff there.
Yep. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Colt Classics PPN, all one word handle, whatever you want to call it.
Use that to share suggestions for casting ideas or plot ideas or anything.
Your combos of animals and animate objects.
Please. Thanks to Jason Shaw of Audionautics for the use of our intro and outro music.
And that's a wrap.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Disclaimer. The conceptual treatment of a motion picture created during the duration of this audio program is not intended to represent a presently published fictional narrative. The story, all names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, living or deceased, places, buildings, and products is intended or should be inferred. Original concepts devised during the extent of the audio program are creative property of Colt Classics. Any usage of current or previous Colt Classic concepts outside of the aforementioned audio program must include appropriate acknowledgments by the utilizing party.
Pocket Podcast Network. Quality programming right to your pocket.